Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic on Board Game Geek, bringing you a new playthrough. This one is a post-apocalyptic version of one of my favorite games, which is designed by Richard Lanius, called Defenders of the Realm. This is Defenders of the Last Stand, and it is produced by 8th Summit Games, and I believe it was designed by both Richard Lanius and Jason Maxwell of 8th Summit Games, who's designed some other cool games that I really like. So, anyway, we're going to get a playthrough of this. Now, this is going to be a blind playthrough, meaning that I've read the rules, I did a couple of sample turns for myself, and that's it. So, I know some of you don't like that, but to get as many games out on the table as I would like to, I have to do these things. But I've read the rules several times at this point, just to make sure I got it right. And there's 2 levels to the setup, and we're going to start talking about setup in a minute. But I want to say that there's a lot of differences in this game. While there's many similarities to Defenders of the Realm, there are a lot of differences as well. For example, this you see this later on in a lot of the expansions and online material for Defenders of the Realm. There were scenarios and things you could do. Well, these are rooted into the game now, and there's also missions and adventures and things that you can go on. And the adventure piece kind of reminds me of the expedition token in what's, don't blank out on the name of the game, buddy. Come on, which one is it? You know which one I'm talking about? Eldritch Horror, another Richard Lanius game, and it reminds me of that mechanic. And there's also lots and lots going on. But we're going to get started. Now, I started most of the basic setup. I've got all the cards separated. Everything's set up and set out. So, and what you see in front of you is the massive board, and I'm going to kind of pan back a little bit. This is the huge board, and here is Last Stand right here in the middle. You have all the towns and outside there. There's things like radiation in this one, which will play effect and could cause you to have mutations and even become a monstrosity and out of the game that way, where you have to get a new character or restart. But the mechanics of this work very similarly, where you're the minions of the bad guys, you're fighting them with their colored dice, and you kill them by attacking them and rolling certain numbers, and of course you have special abilities. Though there is one of the groups, I think it's called the Earth War Party, that the Rangers, and our characters are called Rangers in this. I guess they're apocalyptic Rangers that are out and about and all that good stuff. You can't use your special abilities against them, you just got to take them down, and they're also tough with a 4 required to hit. And then we have one that, well, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go look at the bad guys. Well, I can't get them all completely in the screen, so we'll just start with the ones you can see. This is Crank. He's the leader of the Techies. You can see he's got a combat skill. It says Ancient Tech. Each time when the Techies overrun a location, Crank gains an Ancient Tech card, which enhances his abilities, makes him tougher. And also, Rangers defeat. Each Ranger in battle suffers 3 wounds, and Crank gains an Ancient Tech card. Then he'll Crank 3 wounds. That's if the Rangers are defeated. And here's his mini. You can see standing on a pile of whatever. Looks like a broken down vehicle or something like that. Anyway, cool stuff. And then right above him we got Bama. Bama, the leader of the Road Riders. Now Bama he reminds me of the guy from the Road Warrior, the big leader of the Road Warrior. He's got the ability Bodyguard. A Ranger may not join in an attack against Bama unless they can roll a minimum of 4 attack dice. And he's got also Katak Attack. Attack rolls of 1 and 2 may never be rerolled by any means. So he's kind of bad that way. But he also requires a 5+ to hit, where Crank only requires a 3+. He's a pretty tough guy. And also, remember, he's the leader of the Road Gang, the Road Rider Gang. Basically, they're bikers, the Wild Boys. But they do 2 points of damage. They're pretty tough. So you got to be careful of them. Definitely don't get stuck in the same space with them. And then right here is Puke. He's the most unique of them all. Puke is a big mutant, as you can see. And he's got one of us is his ability. Prior to attacking Puke, each ranger must discard one random defender card from their attack cards played plus one random defender card each mutation they possess. He has power over the mutants, and yeah. So if we defeat them, we get their special ability. We get the special ability of slaying them, which gives us a bonus. Whoever defeats them. But he also does not have minions. He has these monstrosities, and monstrosities have a deck of cards. Whenever you go to fight one, you don't know what it is until you attack it, and they're pretty bad. It says draw a monstrosity card to resolve a single combat, and it says on your guard, rangers that end their turn with a monstrosity present either must discard a blue defender card or suffer 2 wounds for each monstrosity present. So they're nasty, and I think if they pile up, they're going to be really bad for us. And then last but not least, we have Brahma, the leader of the Earth Eaters. Brahma is a woman. It's a mighty priestess. Attacking rangers must roll at least one unmodified 6, or all hits rolled are blocked and ignored. So you only need a 4, but at least one of them's got to be a 6 so that you ignore all the hits. So Bramble's pretty tough, but there's a way to damage them, sabotage them, and damage them without getting into a direct altercation, which can weaken them, but won't. But anyway, it'll weaken them. But if we try that route, we're probably gonna suffer. Anyway, she's got the Earth War Party, and like I told you, they're blessed people. They only need a 4 to hit, but you can't use any of your special abilities, and they have this Rain of Arrows ability, which is just their damage attack. And then really get into the tech mob. It says find artifact. Anytime there is a tech overrun, Crank gains an ancient tech card, and they get the gas attack. Rangers that end their turn with techies present suffer 1 wound for each techie. Again, very similar to Defenders of the Realm. Okay. Now this is the basic setup for the game, but we still have a lot to do. Now I set up all the cards. All the cards have been shuffled and ready to go, even though I'll do some cuts. Got all the character cards, and we're going to do them at random. I think I'm going to play 4 players, maybe 3, just from space perspective, because this board is huge. But we have to finish setting up, actually. So the next thing we're going to do is pick our rangers. So here's the basic setup. Like I said, I've already done most of this. I got the leaders on their boards, got their boards set up. I got all the critters out and ready to go. Got all the cards shuffled up and ready to go. So we got to do this part, though, where now, again, this is going to be scenario-based. So we have a whole secondary part of the setup that I'm going to do with you so that you can see that. And we're going to play the first scenario in the book. But it says ranger boards. Each player chooses a ranger board they wish to play, or choose what at random. We're going to do random. After each player has chosen a ranger, they take the matching ranger miniature and place it on location 19. Now, again, that's going to be modified. Normally they all go to last stand, but that's going to be modified by the scenario, so we'll have to take a look at that. Already did all this, the placing of the leaders. Really with the leaders, all you got to do at the beginning of the game is place them on their boards, because the scenario dictates where they go. And then the cards, I've shuffled up all the cards. Again, there's going to be modifications based on the scenario, which is 6. And then we determine the first player. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this part and get our guys. So we're going to shuffle them up. Boom. See what we get. Let's hope we get some. I don't know. I don't know which ones are good, which ones are mediocre. I'm sure they're all fine in their own way, but they probably work better in certain combinations. So let's cut. Boom. See who we get. Midnight Pearl. Okay, this is gonna be our first character. Now these are the stats. That's their radiation resistance. I'll show you the what all the stats mean. I'll just flip to the pages. So it's radiation resistance. That's their adventure skill. It says the character's knowledge of the land and its people. Scavenging is this one down here, and that is their ability to pick up scavenge tokens, which you'll see later. Again, those get set up by the scenario. And ancient tech. So if we have to make an ancient tech check, and these are the dice we roll, and a success would be a 5 or a 6. Then we have sabotage camps. When Pearl is on a location with a leader, she may spend an action to discard 1 defender card with a gun symbol, cross gun symbol icon to deal 1 wound to the leader. Limit once per turn. And she's got deadly blades. When attacking raiders, not monstrosities or leaders, roll 1 additional die. You may choose the die color if multiple raiders types are present. Mutation resistance. When drawing a mutation, you may spend a karma to discard the mutation and not redraw a new one. Karma is a new thing that's part of this game, and we will collect karma. I think we even start with some karma based on the scenario. So, Midnight Pearl, the Ranger Scout, is our first character. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, boom, boom. Let's see who we get. We get Jake, the veteran ranger. Okay, he's got, again, a 2 radiation resistance, a 5 adventures. He's a good adventurer. 3 on tech. Midnight Pearl had a 2, for example, and a 2 on scavenging. Midnight Pearl had a 4. So they all have different skills. Fast ride. You can move 2 locations for every move action, as if you spent a defender card with a motorcycle icon. When ending your turn, now if you know Defenders of the Realm, those icons are similar to the movement icons on the old the fantasy cards. That would be in the equivalent of a horse. When ending your turn on a location with road gangs, green raiders, you suffer no wounds. So that's good, because that's the road gangs are the ones that are run by Bama. And then you got Road Warrior. You add +2 to your die, to any die result in combat with Road Riders. So you're good against the Road Riders. Additionally, you ignore Bama's combat skills, so he always wants to fight Bama. And his karma ability is Posse. You may spend a karma token to move another defender to your location. You may do this multiple times. Okay, that is our second character. Let's draw our next one. And this whole video is pretty much just going to be set up, because the setup from the the scenario is going to be rather extensive, and I want to walk you through it. We're going to get, okay, Frank the Trapper. He's highly resistant to radiation. 4. He's got 3 adventure, 2 tech, and 3 scavenge. So he's pretty balanced. He's a trapper. You gain 3 trap tokens. That is these. At the start of play, you may spend 1 action to place a trap on your current location. When road gangs or techie mobs appear on a location with a trap, remove the trap and immediately make an attack roll. Nice. Monstrosity Hunter. When attacking a monstrosity or puke, each 6 rolled counts as 2 successes. Additionally, once per turn, you may re-roll failed dice against a monstrosity, but not puke. Okay. And his karma ability, Delicate Hands. That means you have to spend a karma token. You'll see what those are. If you fail a scavenge attempt, you may spend a karma not to discard the scavenge token. Instead, place it back face down on your current location. Okay, interesting. That is our third character of 4. Let's pick one more, and we'll do that. Okay, boom. I didn't cut the last time. I guess it doesn't matter. And then we get Josiah, or Josiah, I think. I'm going to go with Josiah. The Wing Flyer. You have an ancient aircraft folk call an air wing. You may move up to 4 locations when spending an action to move, as if you discarded a wing adventure card or ranger card. You attack raiders at your location with a +1 modifier to each die result rolled. You attack raiders on adjacent locations with a -1 modifier to each die. So you can attack adjacent. Nice. His ability, Sky High. At the end of any turn, you may spend a karma to remain in the air, suffering no wounds from raiders or monstrosities on your current location. He's got a 3, 2, 2, and 4, so he's pretty good. Those are our folks. And just to give you some, there's other ones. There's Calendar, who's a seer. Rock and Roll, who's a rambling singer. And Old Man, who's just tough. And Hat, who's got some special abilities. He used to be the bodyguard of, I think it's Bama. Yeah, and they all have a backstory too, but I'm not going to get into that right now. We'll get into that as we play, I think. So those are our guys. Now we're going to set them up. Now there is one thing that's common for all of them. I'll go back to the basic setup, and that is that they are going to get, with 4 Rangers in play, we're going to get 7 action tokens for each one. I'll get those out now. Okay, now you can see these are their tokens. Those equate to their actions and also their health. As they take damage, they'll get less and less actions, just like Defenders of the Realm. So each one of them starts with 7 action tokens for their turn. And I'm sure we'll lose them as we go along. I'm not going to get into the turn sequence yet or anything like that. We're going to jump right to the setup, the rest of the setup from the scenario. I'm going to explain how that works. We're going to be playing this scenario. It's called Scenario 1, Lightning of the Ancients. And I'll read the story to you. It says, Situation. Raiding tribes are advancing ever closer to the city. Now even Puke is on the move, and unless the Rangers can find a way to turn back the allied attackers, his last stand will soon be under siege. But all is not lost. The governor believes that using stalling tactics will slow the raiders' advance long enough for an ancient weapon to be built. Hope may be slim, but if we can build the fabled Lightning of the Ancients, Last Stand will remain a safe haven for humanity. Okay, and now you see it starts to get into some additional setup. So we're going to start doing that actually. It says, after the basic setup steps, which we've already done, have been completed, follow the steps below to complete the setup for the lightning of the ancient scenario. Okay, the first part here is this ranger setup. Now we got some additional setup to do with our rangers down here. So it says each ranger starts with 1 mission card and 2 karma tokens. Well, okay, so karma tokens, they look like this, and those activate their karma abilities. So I'm going to give each of the rangers 2 karma tokens to get them started, and that is done. And then the next part is each ranger draws 6 defender cards, and we'll start talking about the defender cards. Now these are just like the cards or very similar rather to the cards in Defenders of the Realm. So we're going to draw 6 each. It's going to be 1. We've got 4 players. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now again, I've already shuffled these up, so I didn't bother to do it twice. But I'll just gather these up, and I'll give you an idea of what their cards do. And again, if you're familiar with Defenders of the Realm, which by the way I did do a play session of it, so you can go back and look at that. It's in my channel because this is quite similar. But let's take a look at some cards. So this is the cards for Josiah or Joshua. I'm gonna call it. It looks like Joshua. It's Josuah. No, Joshua. There's several elements here that you can use this card for. You can use it against the leader, of course. It's your attack die. So someone will have 2, someone will have 1. You can use it to move on a motorcycle, which allows you to move 2 spaces instead of 1, and it tells you the leader movement, or the leader that it's associated with. Okay, and you see the similarities on there. These are that's crank. See the gas mask. It means that when you're in a radiated area, you get to ignore, I think, one of the radiation things. I'll have to look that up. See, it's got a blue die against puke. We got another Brahma card with a wing, thing on there that allows to move 4. There's one of the ones that we talked about, the attack card against puke. Another one with the attack symbol. Remember, one of the people has the ability to use those as a way to sabotage the leader. Okay, so that is the setup for that. I'm going to look up that one symbol because I want to tell you what it is, and it's going to be on the cards. I'll have to look it up, but I'm not going to do it right now. We'll continue setup, and as we need it. Oh, there it is. It's a Ranger's Badge. Player may discard 2 cards with the Ranger Badge icon to gain 1 special card. And we'll go over special cards in a moment because we're going to get some in the setup. But let's go back to the setup. Okay, so we got our cards, and we're going to get 1 special card. Special cards are a deck that say, imagine that, special. Now I'm going to give these a quick shuffle. I did shuffle them, but I'm just doing it again just to be sure. Okay, and each of our guys are going to get 1 of those. Okay, so we're going to let's cut first. Boom. We'll draw the first one. First one is special, sudden death. Monstrosities are so mutated that additional radiation may be too much for their foul bodies to withstand. Discard to remove 1 monstrosity from a radiated location, and it acts as 2 dice toward any leader. That is Joshua's special. Now we got Frank's special. Guns and gas. The Mayor of Last Stand opens the armory and fuel depot to the Rangers. Discard, and each Ranger either draws 2 defender cards or 1 karma token and 2 dice to against any leader. Then we got Jake's special, local posse. The locals band together to defend their homeland from the raiders. Discard to prevent the placement of raiders or a monstrosity at any location, at 1 location rather, and 2 dice against any leader. And then another local posse card for Midnight Pearl. Those are the special cards. You can see we got a lot of setup, don't we? Okay, and we're not even done with the Ranger setup yet. So each Ranger chooses a location on the board. So I have to get their miniatures out. Let me do that. And there we go. So we got our 4 guys' miniatures out right there. This is Joshua's, for instance. And we have to place them. Now the thing about that is we have to place them now in the setup steps, but we really don't know where everything is yet. The stuff on the board is not in place yet. I think we'll take Joshua, and he's this air guy, so he's pretty safe out and about. I think we'll just put him at this farm, McCormick Farm. Just, again, these have no particular value. We don't know where the next adventure is going to be, but I figure if we spread them out, it's better. I think Jake, the veteran ranger, let's see, Midnight, she's a scout, so where are we going to put Midnight Pearl? Let's start her. She'll start off with the, no, you know what? We're going to start Frank, because he looks like a kind of a cowboy, up here at Auntie's Saloon. Yeah, we'll do that. In the Hadsville section right there. Then we got Jake. I think Jake will hang out down here at the last stop. We'll see what happens there. And then last but not least, Midnight Pearl. I think Midnight Pearl, I think she's going to go way over here to the pest hole. That way we got everybody spread out. Well, there's only 2 people up north, or 1 person up north, but we'll do that. We'll leave her there. Okay, let's continue. Okay, that was the last of the Rangers piece of the setup. Now we're going to step 2, the Raiders. You can see the game board is populated with Raiders as noted. Techies. Place 2 techies on each of these locations. So I'll do that and be right back. Okay, you can't see them too much. We're going to have to zoom in, but you can see that there's some techies around the board. I've placed them in the locations that they need to be placed in. Now we're going to place the Road Riders onto their spaces. And those are the green guys. So, and they're cool looking, man. They have guys on motorcycles now, and the guys actually come off the motorcycles. But there they are. So we're going to place them out next. Okay, now you can see a bunch of the Road Riders out on the board already, and we already have one in a space with a player. That's not good. And then we got the Earth Eaters, and they're going to go all over the place as well. So let me get them placed out. And after that, we'll have to place Monstrosities. And we haven't even placed the bosses yet. We'll get to that. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Okay, but let's see. We got to place a bunch of Earth Eaters out as well. I'll do that now. Okay, now we have the so far we have the non-randomly placed raiders out. Now we got to place the random raiders. It says random raiders draw 2 raider cards and place raider types and numbers of figures as shown on the card. Usually 1 or 2 figures will be shown on each location. If the card does not show raider placement, keep drawing until raiders have been placed on 2 locations. Do not move leaders or activate events. We haven't put the leaders out yet, according to the setup. Okay, so we're going to do that. So let's get out that big old stack of cards. It's right here. Boom. I'm going to cut it, and we're going to see where our first raiders go. So that is not going to be one of those cards. Doesn't have any. Okay. I did shuffle these, but apparently not well enough. So let's do some quick shuffling. See what we get. Okay. Okay, all is quiet. Last stand. Now I shuffled them again. I'm still getting. Okay, there we go. Two people on McCormick Farm. 2 of the Earth Eaters on McCormick Farm, location 24. That is with Joshua. So that's bad for Joshua. He's not going to be happy with that. There's 2 there, and we got to place 1 more set. All right, let's see what we get here. Boom. Death Maze. We got 2 techies in the Death Maze, which is 1, location 1. Now I gotta look. I don't know if that triggers an overrun or not, because it may. I have to look at that, because if 2 techies go in the Death Maze, then that means that there will be an overrun, and I'll show you why. See up there in the top corner, there's 4 of them. I think that's the most you can have. I'm gonna have to hesitate for a moment and look that up, just to make sure we're okay. Yeah, it says right here, overruns may occur during setup. So we already have an overrun. We haven't even started. Bummer. So here's what happens during an overrun. You can only ever have 3 guys in a space. So we're going to run 1 there. We're going to have a lot of these. We're going to have to take these guys out so fast. 1 there, and 1 more here at Atomic Plant. And then we also have to put out an oil and ammo depot here in Death Maze City, where the overrun took place. Now, if we ever run out of those oil and weapons depots, we lose the game. So we got to be careful, very careful of that. But anyway, that is how we do an overrun. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but we had our first one. But that's all the raider placement, so we're okay from there. So we're not everything, but that's the random. So now we have to go into the deck and remove the two advance 1 leader cards from each raider's deck and return them to the box. So let me go find those, and I'll be right back. And there they are. So these are going back into the box where they will not bother us, not trouble us at all. And that ends the setup for the raiders. Now we're going to go to Monstrosity setup. as you can see, there's a lot of setup going on here. So, monstrosity setup, we're going to place one monstrosity, and these are the monstrosities here. They're big, ugly, bad guys. There's not as many of them, but we don't lose if they run out, unlike the other green, red, and yellow raiders. So, monstrosities, we're going to place one monstrosity on location 20, White Crater. You see it's radiated, that's why. We will place another monstrosity on 35, location 35, which is way over on the other side of the board, called Mutant Mountain. So that makes sense too. I placed one there. We will also be placing one, draw one raider card and add one monstrosity to the first two locations revealed. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to draw a raider card, see what we get. Devil's Junction is going to get a bad guy. That's location 22, 18, 19, where's 22? Devil's Junction right here has a monstrosity. And Bartertown has a monstrosity. So it's where's Bartertown? Location 15 right here. So we're going to have to kill some monstrosities on the way out the door as well. Okay, there's our monstrosity setup. Now we get Karma. Draw raider cards and place Karma tokens on the first 4 locations revealed on the cards for raider placement. Ignore any movement or anything like that. So let's do that. Okay, we're going to get a Karma token on South Road and Atomic Plant. So Atomic Plant is way up in the corner, heavily fortified by Crank's crew. And then we also got South Road, which is location 21 right here. Karma token to be picked up there. I'm going to draw one more. God's Eye Forest and Hadsville Anti-Saloon. Okay, so God's Eye Forest is location 33, way across on the other side of the board. I know that I doubt you can see it because I'm coming way over here, but just know that it's there. It's up in the top corner. And then we got Hadsville Anti-Saloon right here, where Frank will get to pick up a Karma token. Okay, that is Karma. Now we got Scavenge tokens. Remove the following Scavenge tokens from play: 2 special, 2 nothing, and 3 common artifacts. Okay, so these are the Scavenge tokens here, and I had shuffled them all up, but I have to go through them now to remove the certain ones. There's a common artifact. I need to remove 3 of those, correct? Yes, 3 of those, 2 nothings, and 1 of the special. Common artifact, that's not one. Special artifact, I don't think I have to remove one of those. I have to remove, oh yeah, 2 special artifacts. So we'll remove that one. Oops, sorry, bumping the camera. Let's see what else we get. There's the 2 special artifacts. No unique artifact. Okay, I'll do this. There's the next common artifact. So that's 2. We need 2. We need 1 more of those. Nothing. Common artifact. There's our 3 of those, and then we got 2 nothings. Right? We got to get 1 more nothing out. There's nothing. Okay, so the rest of these will get mixed up again, and we'll place them out. Let me get these off the board, and we'll continue on. Okay, well I removed those, but we're not done yet. So then reshuffle the remaining Scavenge tokens face down from the Scavenge pool. Draw raider cards and use locations to place random Scavenge tokens. And yes, we still have more setup to go. In first 6 locations revealed, important to reshuffle all raider cards used for setup. Okay, so here's our tokens. I'm just going to kind of reshuffle them a little bit. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, and then we're going to draw 6 cards out and place them in raider locations. Okay, so Old Brahma Bridge and Hadsville are 2 of them. Old Brahma Bridge is location 18. That's going to be somewhere over here. There's 15, 16, 17, 18's up here. There's one. And then Hadsville, that's a pretty popular place up there. It's good that I put a character there. That's 2 of 6. Now we got Old Factory and Last Stop. So location 37, the Old Factory, way down the bottom corner, and Last Stop, Wishbone, location 10 is right there. And that's 4, and we got 2 more to go. That is not going to happen. And we got the Pest Hole and the Scrapyard. So location 36 is going to get one. The Pest Hole, I got it in there, and then the last one is going to be the Scrapyard, location 14. Boom, and those are our Scavenge tokens that are out currently. I don't know if we'll get more later or not. I guess it depends on events and stuff like that. Okay, now we got step 6. we got oil and ammo depots, and you've seen one already. It says place one oil and ammo depot in the following locations. Devil's Junction, 22, so we're going to have one here, big oil derrick right there. Boxville, 27, way up over here. And Ashtown. That is location 23 right here. Okay, now for that it says place the other remaining 9 off the side of the board. If we ever run out of those, we're dead, but we got 8 because we already had an overrun. Okay, now leaders. Now it says place Bama on 16 hard road and add road riders to the location to bring a total of 3 road riders. Okay, and Bama's starting health is 6. So now what does that mean? So you can see it normally starts there, but his health is actually going to start at 6, and that's Bama. So we're going to place him on location 16, which is right here. Now it says place raiders until there are 3, but there are already 2 there. So I'm confused by that, because in the setup they would have known that. Or maybe that was where we placed no, that wouldn't have been a random placement. There's 2. Bring to a total of 3 road riders. Oh, 3 road riders. Okay, so I got to get 1 more road rider out. I don't know about you guys, but this is seeming like it's starting off really hard for us already. Okay, now we got to place Bramble, and it says place Bramble on location 27, Boxville, and add Earth Eaters to the location until there's a total of 3. Let me get her out. She's way the heck over there on the board. We're going to again place her on location 27, which is up here, Boxville, and we're going to add 2 more of her folks, the Earth Eaters, to Earth or War Party to this spot right here. Boom. There's a total of 3 there. Then we got Crank. Okay, Crank is going to start on location 7. So here's Crank. He's starting up here in Liberty Tunnel, and I think we're going to do the same thing to the location to bring a total of 3 techies to his location. That area up there is really rough, so we're going to add 2 more to his location way up there, where you can see him hanging out. So we got Crank up there with these 2 fine fellows, totaling 3, and then we're going to place, all we only have left to place is Puke. Puke is going to start, oh, I also got to make sure I check their health. Starting health for Bramble is going to be 7, okay, so, and starting health for Crank is going to be 8. So let me get their health situated. Don't want to mess that up because it makes it tougher to not adjust their health down. Okay, so they're okay. I got that situated. Now Puke is going to go on location 7, which I believe is seriously right here. Boom. Wow. Place on the White Crater. No, that's not the White Crater. Where's the White Crater? Place Puke on the White Crater. That would have to be on. Oh, it's way on the other side. Let me look for the White Crater. Wish I didn't have the number next to it. That's crazy. There's White Peak, Internet Needle, last stop. I'm looking for the White Crater. I will find it. It's probably name's probably buried someplace. God's Eye Forest. Oh, there it is. That's not it. That's Old Factory. Okay, I have to find the White Crater. Hold on just a moment. It's right here, right smack in the middle where that nuclear area is. And then it says his health 2 starts at 7. So normally he starts at an 8. And then we have to do one more thing for Crank. I'm just going to go over to his board to do that. Okay, we're going to have to draw one of his Ancient Tech cards. I'm going to give it a quick shuffle. Then we'll cut, and we'll draw one out. So, Sheeny and Chrome. Crank wears armor forged by his master craftsman and riot coordinator, Kevlar. Crank's to hit number is increased to +4. So this is a permanent upgrade to Crank. I guess we'll just put it right there and put his cards right here. And so he has shiny and chrome armor. That's great. That's just helpful, isn't it? Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the stage cards. And that's another new development in the game. Now the stage cards basically tell us what's going on during and how the play advances. So we need the stage cards of 1B, So we'll get 1B. That's going to be our first stage card. And these are going to go in order. So there's 1B. And what does that say? Players draw 1 Raider card and 2 Defender cards in the Raiders' radiation phase. Raiders in radiation phase of the turn. Perform all Raider placement on cards. Activate events. Advance leader to the next location. Advance to stage 2 card when the leader has been slain. Okay. So this is going to be card number 1. And then once we advance, we're going to go to card 2B. So basically we're doing the B side, right? Raiders advance. Basically it's going to get tougher. I'm not going to read those now. I'll just leave them where they are. And we'll catch them as we go. And then we got 3B and 4A. So 3B is right here, Hard Times. And 4A, Final Assault. Okay, so they're going to go in that order. So right now the one that is up is First Strike. And I'm going to put them right there. Those are the stage cards, and those are going to tell us how the game progresses. Then we have a group mission, and it says one of the players should read the situation. I already read the situation to you. And then we should take a look at the special item, which is the Lightning of the Ancients. Okay, and here it is. It says Activate Weapon, Lightning of the Ancients. Lightning of the Ancients device. The weapon has been completed and is now active. This is what will happen when we get to... Oh, here it is. Here's the group mission right here. Sorry. Boop, boop. Which I read because it's in the beginning piece. The governor has people working on a weapon that is built from technology the ancients used to smite their enemies. Several of the components required have been scavenged, and the builders have given descriptions of the remaining items needed. The rangers are to hold off the approaching raiders until the remaining technology is found in order to complete the weapon. Find 2 special artifact tokens. When found, place tokens on the collected area below. When 2 special tokens have been found, flip this card. And then we're going to go to the actual weapon. I think I'll save that for later since it's not going to matter right now, but basically we get to activate that weapon and it starts to wipe things out. And as you can tell, there's a lot going on the board already. Now we get to place a blockade. Okay. So we're going to place a blockade token. That's one of these. And it basically prohibits movement. And it looks to me like we got 2 real good choices up on the board. Looks like the biggest dangers are going to come from here and here. He's likely to move to a random location, so it's more likely to be from these guys since they're so close to the center already. I think I'm more concerned about Crank than Bramble. Even though Bramble's people, you can't use special abilities. I think we're going to block this spot right here. That means they can't come through there. It's barricaded. It makes it harder for them. So we have a barricade up there on Last Stand. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is, well, we're not going to talk about that yet. We'll skip to the... There's the special scenario rules, and that's basically the Lightning of the Ancients weapon, which we're going to talk about later when we actually have it, but it allows us to destroy things quickly. And then victory conditions: players win by defeating 4 clan leaders. Normal loss rules apply. So the only thing that we have left to do is the adventure cards, and then we'll be ready to play. And here are the adventure cards. So, boom. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, and this is the part that I said reminds me of the expedition token in Eldritch Horror, because you see these locations. So here's the locations. I'm going to cut it once, and whatever we get, Auntie's Saloon. Wow, there's a lot going on, but Auntie's Saloon. So we're going to take the adventure token and place it up there. That means that is where our first adventure is going to take place. Boom. Setup is complete. That was a rather long video, but I don't think I'm going to take a turn this time around. I think I'm going to get this video posted for you so you can see the setup. You saw that there's a lot going on, and can't wait for our guy Frank to use some traps and have a lot of action going on and defeat these big bad villains that are on the board. This seems like a tough scenario. It is the first scenario, even though scenario 2 is the basic one where you defend Last Stand. But I thought this one had an interesting twist on it, so we'll play this and see how it goes. First time out, I'll probably get whooped. But again, a lot of fun. I love Defenders of the Realm. This looks like just kind of an enhanced version, so that is incredibly cool. Anyway, I'm going to end this here, guys, and we'll see how long this video is, and I'll get back to it with our first turn in the next video. Thanks. Talk to you soon.